Shalom, my friend. You are sitting there with a heart full of excitement and a mind buzzing with a new vision. And the very first thing you did, before the ink was even dry on the plan, before the first dollar was even invested, was pick up your phone to call your best friend so you could receive a pathetic dopamine hit of social validation. You are a mental midget when it comes to the laws of spiritual warfare, and you are wondering why your surefire deals keep evaporating into thin air while you watch men with half your talent walk into the rooms of the global elite with their mouths shut and their pockets full. You think your failure is a matter of bad timing or a tough economy, but I am telling you right now that you have a social leak. You are suffering because you refuse to understand that a plan is a spiritual pregnancy. And by sharing your plans with the wrong people, you are effectively inviting a social abortion of your own destiny. Most of you are walking through life like spiritual exhibitionists, showing your private anointing to everyone who smiles at you. And then you have the audacity to ask the Master of the Universe why the evil eye has blinded your path. God is not the one sabotaging your success. You are the one short-circuiting your own vessel by allowing social saboteurs into the holy of holies of your mind, simply because you want to be liked. Today, I am going to stop being nice to you. I am going to stop treating you like a child who needs a playmate, and I am going to start treating you like a sovereign strategist who needs a firewall. We are going to talk about the forbidden law of social sabotage, the hidden Kabbalistic science of how the speech and thoughts of your friends act as a spiritual audit that can freeze your Mazal for years. I am going to reveal the 3 specific friends that you must stop telling your plans to immediately if you ever want to see 7 figures in your account and keep them there without a lawsuit or a betrayal. If you are sharing your dreams with these people, I don't care how many wealth affirmations you recite, you are in a state of spiritual exposure, and the frequency of gold cannot dwell in a house where the walls are made of glass. We are going to perform a total, ruthless audit of your social circle. By the end of this video, which you must watch until the very last second if you have any desire to protect your future, you will know how to seal your mouth and stop the energy hijackers from stealing your luck. I am Rabbi Boaz, the Torah Life Strategist, and I am here to reconstruct your Mazal because you are clearly too desperate for attention to do it yourself. Let us begin with the concept of Hester Panim, the hidden face. In the Torah, we learn that the highest level of blessing is that which is hidden from the eye. When a seed is underground, in the dark, it is protected. The moment you pull it out of the dirt to show your friends how much it has grown, you kill the roots with the sunlight of public opinion. Your plans are seeds. When you speak them aloud to people who are not co-investors in your soul, you are exposing the roots. You are allowing the cold wind of their doubt and the scorching sun of their jealousy to touch the embryo of your wealth. This is the law of silent momentum. A billionaire does not announce his next move. He executes it. He understands that speech is silver, but silence is gold. But you, in your mental midget insecurity, think that if you don't post it or tell someone, it isn't real. You are a slave to the reaction of others. You are trading your anointing for likes and nods, and it is the most expensive trade you will ever make. The first friend you must stop sharing your plans with immediately is the undercover rival, the one who smiles the widest when you tell them your wins, but has eyes that are as cold as a grave. In Kabbalah, we call this the Cain frequency. Cain didn't hate Abel because Abel was a stranger. He hated him because they were equals until the sacrifice was accepted. Your undercover rival is the friend who is in the same level of life as you. As long as you are both struggling, they are your best friend. But the moment you mention a plan that will take you to the palace, you trigger their survival mechanism. Their ego cannot handle your ascension because it forces them to look at their own stagnation. When you tell them, "I'm starting a new venture that will generate $50,000 a month," they don't say Mazal Tov with their soul. They say, "Are you sure that's a good idea?" Or, "I heard that market is saturated." These are spiritual micro-curses. They are planting weeds of doubt in your mental field because you value their opinion. Those weeds grow. 2 weeks later, you find yourself losing interest in the plan. You think it was your intuition, but it was actually their energy poisoning. They socially sabotaged you to keep you in the crab bucket with them. Stop being a spiritual donor for their ego. Stop telling them your numbers. If you are moving up, you must be prepared to be misunderstood and lonely for a season. You cannot take a bucket of crabs to the top. You need to understand that we are approaching the 10-minute mark of this intense training, and some of you are already feeling defensive because I am talking about your best friend. You are a vessel problem. You are more loyal to a parasite than you are to your own destiny. You think your social life is separate from your financial life. It is not. Your social circle is your spiritual plumbing. And if it is full of undercover rivals, your Mazal is being flushed down the drain every time you grab a beer with them. This is why you must get the Mazal Reconstruction. This ebook is my digital manual for the chosen one who is tired of being socially leaky. It is the only system that teaches you exactly how to vet your circle, how to build a wall of silence, and how to identify the hidden genetic and social leaks that are draining your anointing. If you fix your habits but keep your saboteur friends, you are still going to be broke. You need a total, systemic reconstruction of your architecture. If you are serious about this, if you are done being a wannabe who is satisfied with the crumbs of social approval, you need to go to the link in the description right now and get the Mazal Reconstruction. Use this video to cut the immediate leaks, but use the ebook to build the fortress. If you don't get the book, you are essentially telling the universe that you are happy being a social sieve and that you prefer the approval of the broken over the gold of the Creator. Don't be that guy. Get the Reconstruction Manual now. Now, let us move to the second friend you must stop sharing your plans with. The poverty prophet, the one who is well-meaning but anointed for lack. This is the friend who is always worried about you. They have a black belt in risk management, but a 0 in faith. Every time you share a vision, they give you a list of why it will fail. They call it being a good friend or keeping you grounded. I call it spiritual terrorism. In the Torah, when the 12 spies went into the Promised Land, 10 of them came back as poverty prophets. They saw the giants, and they said, "We are like grasshoppers in our own eyes." Their realism infected the entire nation and caused them to wander in the desert for 40 years. One poverty prophet in your inner circle can cause you to wander in a financial desert for the rest of your life. They aren't trying to hurt you. They are just frequency blind. They cannot see the gold because they are obsessed with the giant. When you share your plans with them, you are downgrading your frequency to match their survival mode. You start making safe decisions instead of anointed decisions. And safe decisions never lead to billionaire results. You must excommunicate their opinions from your strategy. They are allowed to be your friend for lunch, but they are never allowed to be your friend for legacy. If you tell a poverty prophet your plan, you are handing your sword to a coward. What do you think he's going to do with it? He's going to drop it. Stop asking broke people for wealth advice just because you share a history. Reconstruct your board of advisors. The third friend you must stop sharing your plans with, and this is the one that causes the most active destruction, is the information broker, the one who treats your life like social currency. This is the person who cannot keep a secret to save their life. The moment you tell them, "I'm working on a secret project," they are already thinking about who they can tell so they can look important or connected. In Kabbalah, this is a violation of the Brit, the covenant of speech. When you tell a secret to an information broker, you are venting the vessel. You are losing the spiritual pressure required to manifest the miracle. A plan needs pressure to grow, just like a diamond needs pressure to form. When the information broker spreads your business to the masses, he is inviting the audit of the entire collective consciousness before you are ready. He is exposing your sanctuary to the marketplace before the product is finished. This leads to intellectual property theft, market front-running, and ayin hara contamination. You wonder why a competitor suddenly launched the exact same thing you were planning. It wasn't a coincidence. You told a broker, and the broker told the Satan. You are the reason your ideas are being stolen. You are a leaky pipe. A billionaire understands that intellectual capital is more valuable than physical capital. He guards his mouth like a vault. He uses non-disclosure agreements in the spiritual realm by simply staying silent. But you want the clout. You want people to know how smart you are. You are a mental midget if you think the awe of your friends is worth the loss of your empire. Stop being an open book for people who can't even read. Let's talk about the frequency of the secret. Why does the Torah emphasize modesty, tesnias? People think modesty is about the length of a skirt. No. Modesty is a strategic concealment of power. When your plans are modest, when they are anointed, when they are public, they are common, and common things are always subject to strict judgment. By keeping your mouth shut, you are insulating your Mazal. You are creating a high-voltage environment where the blessing can multiply without interference. Every time you leak a plan to a friend for a praise hit, you are lowering the voltage. You are diluting the anointing. This is why most idea people are broke, while execution people are rich. The idea people talk until they are empty. The execution people work until they are full. Which one are you? You are currently a social butterfly who is flitting away his future. You need to become a social ghost. You need to move in the shadows. You need to reconstruct your aura of mystery. Mystery is a magnet for wealth. Certainty is a magnet for tax. If everyone knows what you are doing, the spiritual IRS is already at your door. Let's look at the psychology of the dopamine hit. Why do you feel the need to tell your friends? It is because you lack internal validation. You don't believe in the plan enough to hold it yourself. You need social proof to feel like it's real. This is a weakness of character. A billionaire validates himself with his bank account and his connection to the Creator. He doesn't need a high school friend to tell him he's a genius. If you need their nod, you aren't ready for the gold. You are a child looking for mommy's approval. Grow up. Become a head and not a tail. A head makes decisions in silence. A tail follows the noise. You have been a tail for so long that you think the noise is the strategy. It's not. The noise is the distraction. You are being socially sabotaged by your own need for attention. This ends today. I want you to perform a social blackout. For the next 30 days, do not share a single win, a single plan, or a single number with anyone outside of your legal and financial partners. Watch what happens to your energy. Watch how much faster your plans manifest. when they aren't being chewed on by the mouths of the mediocre. You will feel a build-up of power inside your soul. That is the pressure of the anointing. That is the Mazal returning to the vessel. But most of you won't do it. You are social sluts. You are addicted to the group chat. You are addicted to being the smart one in a room of dumb people. I am telling you right now, if you are the smartest person in your friend group, you are in a cemetery of Mazal. You need to get around people who are bigger than you, people who are quieter than you, and people who challenge your structure. But you are too small to do that. You'd rather be a big fish in a social puddle. And that is why your bank account is evaporating. You are a mental midget because you think the universe cares about your social life. It doesn't. It cares about your stewardship. If you are a poor steward of your secrets, you will be a poor steward of the gold. This is the law of transfer. If you cannot hold an idea, you cannot hold $1 million. The weight of the money will crush your socially weak soul. This is why I am telling you to get the Mazal reconstruction right now. This is your chance to upgrade your internal operating system. This manual is a high-frequency blueprint. Reading it will begin to overwrite the need for approval that was planted in you by a slave culture. It will give you the tactical SOPs to handle your social circle like a high-level strategist. If you are too cheap to invest in the shield of your own soul, then get off my channel. I only have time for the lions. I only have time for the men who are ready to rule their own tongue and their own destiny. The link is in the description. Buy the ebook, Reconstruct Your Mazal. This is my hard and aggressive final call to action for this video. You have two choices today. You can keep being the life of the party, sharing your plans with undercover rivals, poverty prophets, and information brokers, and you can continue to lease your luck to people who don't care about you. Or you can take the sword of separation. You can seal the vault. You can kill the need for validation, and you can build a dynasty in the dark that will shine so bright the whole world will have to see it when it's finished. The financial miracle you have been praying for is not going to drop from the sky. It is going to grow in the soil of your silence. If the soil is disturbed by the noise of your friends, nothing will grow. If the soil is silent and deep, the harvest will be infinite. Stop sharing your sacred fire with social ice. Stop sharing your high-value plans with low-value ears. Start acting like a man who is destined to own the mountain. The Mazal reconstruction is the only truth that matters in this socially contaminated market. It is the firewall for your mind. It is the filter for your circle. It is the roadmap to the billionaire altar. If you leave this video without taking action, you are confirming to the universe that you are a lost cause. You are confirming that you prefer the social dopamine of a beggar over the economic dominion of a king. Don't be that man. Be the man who closes the door, shuts the mouth, and opens the vault. Be the man who understands that his vision is a holy thing that must be vetted before it is shared. Every billionaire I know has a vault of silence. They don't talk about what they are going to do. They show you what they have done. They are result-oriented, not approval-oriented. This is the secret. It's not about how popular you are. It's about how anointed you are. And anointing requires separation. You cannot be anointed and common at the same time. Choose your frequency. If you vibrate with the group chat, you will always be an average earner. If you vibrate with the ancient strategists, you will eventually rule the marketplace. But you cannot vibrate with the palace, while your plans are being masticated by the teeth of the envious. Clear the circle, perform the social extraction, reclaim your silence, and for the love of the Creator, get the blueprint. The poverty infection is aggressive and it enters through the ear and the mouth. The reconstruction is more powerful and it enters through the will. You have been warned, you have been instructed. Now, do you have the character to act? Or are you just another mental midget who likes to watch wealth videos so he can tell his friends about them later? I think I know the answer, but I want you to prove me wrong. Go to the comments and write, "I am a vault of silence." Then go to the link and get the book. Your soul is the blueprint. Your life is the construction. Now get to work and stop leaking your mazal to people who are secretly praying for your failure. Shalom